Uh, the recording has started, so we can move to the first tutorial session of the challenge or this challenge, which is going to be the dataset exploration. So just to give you an introduction about the session before we start. So in this session, we're going to have an introduction about data exploration, what it is, and see how we can apply some basic functions that are going to help us with exploring the data. And we're going to have a side-by-side demo. So we're for the demo, we're going to be using the Aurora issue dataset. So let me just give a short introduction to what it is. So the Aurora issue dataset is data that's of a company for a project manager that they are going to be using in order to track the issues that are being done by the employees. So here we have the key, which is used to identify the issue or the story type. So here we have the issue type. So story, is it a story? Is it a task? Is it a bug or a bug fix or things like that? Sprint, we have sprint numbers. Status is resolved or is it unresolved? Summary is just a sentence about what the issue is or the issue is. So here, parallelize updates to speed up deploys and the description. So it's a longer description of what is going to be done and the story points. How many story points does it have? Priority range from 1 to 5, which shows how like 1 represents low priority and 5 represents the most highest priority. The watch count, the fixed version. So the watch count is how many notifications do we have about this issue. The fixed version is if it does have a different version or is it one version. And after the version, so if it affects previous or other versions, you can do that as well in assigning the employee that's responsible for that issue, creator who created it, and reporter who's going to report that issue, and the comment and the votes, so the issue links, how many links does this issue have, and blocked by, is this issue blocked by another issue, blocks, does this issue block another issue? So don't worry about too much. I'm just trying to give you a short introduction about this. Depends on so does this issue depend on another issue, subtasks, are there any subtasks under the issue, and so on. So this is just the example data set that I'm going to be using in tutorial session that we're gonna have. Okay, so as usual, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. So for this section, the main objectives are recognizing the Google Sheets core features for exploratory data tasks, apply sorting and filtering options, effectively utilize basic formulas and pivot tables for quick insights, and relate these skills to project management context. So just to give you an insight, just as an introduction about Google Sheet, why we use or why we chose the Google Sheets instead of other tools. The first one is the collaborative features. So it's real-time editing, and you can share and you can comment on the Google Sheets throughout the internet. Key interactive elements, toolbars, menus, rows, and columns, and sheet tabs, and so on, and accessibility. So it's really easy to access if you have any device with internet. So it's cloud-based. So that's why we chose the Google Sheets. Okay, so let's introduce the data exploration. So what's data set exploration? So it's just the process of analyzing and summarizing data sets to understand the structure, patterns, and potential insights. So essentially just making data-driven decisions in project management, we can do this task. So why is it important? So it helps identify trends, outliers, and relationships or correlation data sets. So it also provides a foundation for deeper analysis and decision making. So the key concepts in data analysis or exploratory data analysis are the key terms you need to understand. The data set, of course, it's the collection of data, which is often organized in rows and columns, variables. Which are the columns in the data set representing different attributes. So if you are calculating life expectancy or happiness, the city's happiness, it could. So there is a data set about how happy a city is. I don't know if you know it. They do this every year. So they basically, the dataset basically have the GDP, life expectancy, the salary, the average salary, and so on. So those are called elements, observations, so rows in the dataset representing individual data points. So each data point for this one, descriptive statistics, which measures like the mean, the median, the maximum, the minimum, that's used to summarize the data. So let's start with the basic formulas and functions that we're going to be using for exploring the data. So here, the first is sum, so which we use in order to sum up or add up the hours or tasks completed. So actually, rather than sum, we're going to see sum if. Actually, I think that's better. So, for instance, let's go here. Let's see how many of the issues are resolved. So here, the result is D. D. So let's start with, so equals count if range, for range, we're gonna give it D. So since I need all of D, you can say D up to D, or you can say you can give it specific range of rows from D2 up to D 555. So it's going to select, oh, sorry, actually, sorry. Here it seems to be a semicolon, so D 555. So it's going to select that range. And for the operation, I want to count. So as the function indicates, count if. So it's going to count if a certain value is made. So here I want to count if the issue is resolved. So resolve it. So brackets. So here you can see out of the 555, out of the 554, 452 are actually completed or resolved. And for the unresolved, what you can do is, so just here, I just need to add and make this smaller. So here we have 100. So you can see how I resolve it and unresolve it, how I can count resolved and unresolved issues easily with using counting. Okay, so here also we can summarize them or sum them up. So here you can, so we need a numerical value. So let's watch count. I think we can do watch count. So sum if. So if you are new to the function, you can actually use the inbuilt help in order to get it. So sum if, let's say, I want the range to be, let's say, okay, let's count or let's sum up the priorities that are above 3. So above the average priority, let's sum them up. So here, what I will do is give it from edge to edge. And for the equation, I want to get values that are greater than 3. So this goes up to enter. So 227 is the sum of the priorities that are above 3 or above the average priority. So these are just some of the basic bets, of course. really helpful functions that you are going to be using while doing your project or while you using while working as a project manager. So yeah, anything you can imagine, you can do it. So countif, so I forgot the equal sign, so equal countif, and I think it's better if we see how we can also debug or how we can see the problem whenever it arises. So here, let's say count if for the range, let's say L up to L. So for the from the assignees, I want to see how many issues that Maxim, I don't know, I might be pronouncing the name wrong here, but Maxim have. So here you can see that there is an error in referencing. So here you can see that the error here. So it's a circular dependency detected. So here it cannot identify or it cannot identify what to count in this range. So I wanted to count this when I say, okay, still have an error, maybe let's go to 185. It has already counted, but I don't know why it's not showing. So the value is already here, but maybe it's my internet, but the value is already here. So 165 issues are created by him, assigned him. Maybe it's problem with the internet. Let's try it again. Once count if I wanted to kind if range for okay, let's use for the you can also go here in order to see how you can identify it. So cognitive, they have their videos and so on. You can see how you can use cognitive. So if it is, if you want actually to have two dependencies, you can also identify them or name them here and so on. So you can use this, but I think I believe it's on my side for this issue because it has already calculated it. But it's not displayed. But yeah. And same if I VLOOKUP in order to reference the data into another sheet in order to put it in another sheet. And for sorting, you can sort it by ascending and descending values for the due dates, priorities. So you can sort it into priorities. And for instance, I believe you can do this, but I believe we better do this in the pivot table that we're going to see. So we can't see there, but here you can short it into let me select this priority is on edge. Sorry, and for the filter, you can select it, uh, filter it by value. So here, if you want only to see the maximum value, which is 5 or 4 and 5, you can just select those two and select OK. So it's going to show you the priorities 4 and 5, the issues that have the priorities 4 and 5. And for the sorting, you can sort it into from H, A to Z, and Z to Z. So I sorting for descending and ascending order. So here I'm going to use descending order. So from 5 up to 1. So it's going to sort it based on the value of the priority. So the least priority are going to be found at the 8 or at the bottom of the data set, and the highest priority are going to be found top of the data set. So yeah, and let me just undo it, and you can do that. Multiple level sorting. You can sort by due date and then priority. So uh, uh, after you select it, maybe short sorting to sorry. So for let's do it ascending, and then for the witch tower. So for the word counts, we can again sort it here. So it's going to sort first by priority and then by which are. Then I do that, and then multiple filtering. So you can create a filter to isolate task. You can just see the in progress or the unresolved issues filtered by text, date, and so on. So if I just want to see the unresolved, so here I have the filter. So I have applied filters. So here I can just select unresolved, click OK, and it's going to show me the data points that have unresolved issues. Okay. And moving on, and which is a really interesting point, creating a pivot table. So what is a pivot table when why do we do it? So pivot table are really important for creating a quick summary. So it's a tool that's used to summarize large data sets of data instantly. So you can count tasks by priority, count issues by priority, and so on. So to create a a pivot table, you can just go to data here, and here you can find, so it's under actually insert, find the pivot table. So here it will recommend you the data range that's feasible. So for this instance, it's creating a pivot table of the whole data set. So I'm going to create a new sheet, and it's going to create a pivot table. So here you can have the rows, the values in the column. So for instance, here are some suggested uh, things that you can calculate. So some the content count for each assignee, some the comment count for each sprint, and some the watch hours for each sprint. So how many counts of core comment do you have for each assignee? So here you can find it, or to make it more interesting, we can sum up actually. So we can sum up the watch hour for each assignment, making watch counts. So how many notifications did they have? Here, let me just close this one. So here you can see who has more interaction with their issue. So Maxim has the most. Here, Benjamin has the least, and so on. Sorry. And you can do actually a lot of things here. Let's say how many issues are blocked, or how many issues that does the assignee have. So here you can see how who actually created more issues uh, compared to the others. So previously, if you remember, we have created, or we have viewed that Maxim have 165 issues, or created issues, or assigned to that issue. So you can find it here as well. So on. These are quick summary of what we need to see, and so on. So you can do a lot of things. So if you have anything that you want to see, you can do it. So you can actually drag and drop them. Actually, so here let's close the board. So if you want to see a assignee here, you can just close, drag and drop them, or they're booked by you, and so on. So it's a really a really powerful tool for use the pivot tables. So use case are count the task by assigning which we did, or by status. So you can have another, you can add another value here. So then for the column, you can have status and count. So for the status, don't count actually. Uh, you can summarize them by, actually, let's make them the columns. So resolve it and unresolve it. So this is actually wrong because it's the same thing, but it's identifies as different. So this is what we mean by inconsistency. So here what we did is, so we have the assignee and we have the number of unresolved and resolved values that they have. So for example, previously we have seen that Maxim have 165 issues, and of these 165 issues, 136 have been resolved, and 29 are still in progress or unresolved. So you can see it. You can see this by doing that. Okay. Sorry. Let me go back here. So summarize how many tasks are high, medium, and low priority. So you can categorize them as well. So just to give you hints on practical tips or tips for effective data exploration, the first tip is start with descriptive statistics. So which is the average, the maximum, the minimum value. So here, for instance, let me go back to the sheet, the original sheet, and we can see, let's say, we see the story points. So sorry. So here we see equals max, so maximum of. So here you will see what you need to add, and you have an example as well. So I want to see from G up to G, and I want to see, yeah, the maximum should work also. And for the value, let's see the maximum of uh, what is it? Okay, fine. We'll see up the pilot. Yeah, it should work, but it's creating some value, some problem, but because it's from G to up to G25. Yeah, okay. So the problem is I gave it all of the column. So I believe this is the same issue here. So instead of saying from L up to N, let's say from L up to N55. So yeah, so that's the issue. So the issue is I gave it all of the column, which included MPT cells. So it cannot compute for the MPT cells. So I need to restrict it or give it the appropriate range that I have from G2 up to 555. So that's the issue. Good to understand the problem and solve it, right? And so the maximum story point of this data set is 13, and the minimum is so equals to minimum. So from G2 up to G 555. Yeah, let's see this. Only one. So one is the minimum and 13 is the maximum. And for the priority, let's see the average. So equals average. Yeah, it's already recommending me. So the average story points priority is 2.9 or almost 3. So these are called statistics or descriptive statistics. So make sure to get sense of the data by doing this and using filtering and sorting. So we have seen how we can filter by using the filtering method. So this is the filtering method, and we have seen how we can sort them out by value. So you can filter by country with high life expectancy and so on. So these are just some examples. And look up the relationship. So explore how variables interact with each other. And common challenge that you may face while performing this is large data sets. So if you have a large data set, make sure to use filters and sorting in order to help you focus more or to put your focus more on the relevant data and interpreting the results. So always cross-check your findings with domain knowledge and missing the data. So while we don't screen data, in this session, be aware that missing value and how they may affect your analysis. So you need to make sure your data is clean. So that will be covered in the next session. So key takeaways are sorting and filtering are essential for the first step. So in order, like instead of going through the data, looking for the highest, the city with the highest value of P2, the PM25, you can just sort the data by the value of the PM25. You know, after or if you have identified it to be if you have identified it to have more effect on health. And simple formulas can provide quick metrics such as how many tasks are reduced. This is in relation to the uh, example that I have here. And the pivot tables offer immediate summary without heavy data manipulation. So make sure in order to use them as well. So I also have included some references that you can look through. So make sure to go through them. And of course, reach out to me on Slack if you have any questions in the future. But for now, if you have any questions, the floor is yours. I am done on my side. The floor is yours, guys. Or is it clear? Maybe if you don't have any question, you can just confirm that you have understood the session and we can move on to the next stage. Is it clear? Is it not clear? Okay. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Uh, can we move on? No. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take that as I guess. Thank you. Understood. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your names wrong. With time, as we will go to know each other more, and get it right. Yeah. Okay. If that's if you guys don't have any questions, I think um, I guess we can continue to have just 10 minutes introduction to 10x. So Barakat is here in order to show us how we can interact with 10x and how we can submit, how we can see the challenge, and how we can see our task and so on. So Barakat, are you here?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
The floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to present my screen. I think. So is it visible from your side?
Yes. Yes.
So basically, this is the platform 10x, and where you will be able to see the challenges and submit your assignments, see your leaderboard, and see overall progress through the system. throughout this training. So basically, if it is your first time coming to this platform, which is almost all of you will have a new account based on your Kepler email. So what you will do is you will go to forgot password and you will type the email that you have from your school. And once you provide it, and you will just send done, and it will send you an email to you to reset your password. And then by resetting your password, you will be able to log in. So the first step for your first time login would be resetting your password based on the email that you have from your school. And the second part, that after resetting your password, then you would be able to log in to the system. And so if it's just, let me just log in with this one. And when you log in for the first time, you would be able to see this page. In here, you would be able to see the onboarding, like what are the things that you need to do, where you can find more details. So the first part is on the joining, which is the timing and the schedules will be shared, where the meeting will be handled, and the schedules for that specific week challenge or session challenge, and also the code of conduct and the late policy will be available, how you should join the Slack and what you will be getting, and the assignments that will be delivered to the training team, and any detail about the training will be provided in here. And the next part that you would be able to access from this is the challenge document. So in here, you would be able to see the challenge document, and you would be able to see what has been provided. And each section would be provided from here, key dates, the deliverables, and the details that you will be getting from the challenge document. And once the training starts and once you submit your work and we track your progress, you will be able to see your performance in here. Currently, you don't have any data to track your performance, but once you go through it, you will be able to see. And also your leaderboard will be available once you go through the training process. So the last part that I'm going to show you is where you would be submitting your assignment. So for you to submit your assignment, you would be able to see, like in the assignment page, you would be able to see submission portal, which you would select one of the assignments that you are going to submit. So for this specific assignment that I'm going to submit, I would just come here. It says report submission. So I will just provide it a link after I have done my work and I've completed it. I will provide the link to that specific assignment. In here, I can also add attachments to this assignment, but now if I don't have, I can just leave it. Then I would just click on preview. Then once I preview, I would be able to see what I am submitting. This is a PDF report that I am submitting, and I would be able to see what I am submitting. So once I confirm that this is the document that I want to submit, I will just click say done, and the submission will be processed. So if you submit on time, you would be able to see a message, something like this. And if you submit late, it would be a different message that you would going to see. And if you want to submit up, if you are going to submit after the deadline, after the closing date, you wouldn't be able to submit your assignment. So you have to reach out to the ones that you are reporting to get access to it. So you have to submit on time and within the specific dates provided. So there will be a due date, which is specifically to when you can submit, and there is grace period that you can submit after that one. So the platform would grade your submission. I think after, you may wait 1 or 2 minutes. So now my grade is ready. I can go and see the grades. So it would provide me a detailed response of the overall work that I have done, the rubrics that I have get for each specific scenario or criterion, what are the feedbacks that I am getting. And if you get a feedback that you can improve, for instance, for this assignment, I just get 100 and I'm happy with it and I can move on. But if you get a less mark and if you want to improve your submissions, what you are going to do is just click on this edit icon, upload your new updated file, then preview, and then finally you will be able to submit, and your grades will be regraded. So you have a chance to do twice based on seeing your grades, improving your work based on the feedbacks, submit and relearn your tasks. So basically, overall, this is how you would be using the platform for submitting your assignments and the details. So if you have any questions with this regard, you can just raise. If not, that's it from my side. Let me share. Let me stop sharing my screen. Thank you, Carol.
Okay. Thank you. Very good. So yeah, do you have any questions, guys? Because this is where you're going to be submitting and interacting with a platform, so you need to be on board on this one as well. So is everything clear? Do you want him to go through it again, or is there anything, any specific that you want to be redone? If not, we can end the session. I think that's it all from my side as well. So any questions? Okay. In that case, I believe we can end the session. Yeah.
I think just one question. Does everyone have access to this platform? Like, have you tried to log in? We have sent you an email for you to just access the system. Does everyone have access to it? Okay. If you face any issue with accessing the platform, you can just type in Slack and we'll be able to reach out and help. And you should be able to get access before the end of the day and see the challenge documents there. And once the submission deadline approaches, we will provide you a way to submit your assignment.
Yeah, just to be clear, I believe this submission portal is not open right now.
Yeah, it's not open right now. It will be available before February 11th, I think. Yeah, when the due date approaches.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because when they log in and they don't find the assignment portal, so not to get confused or anything.
So currently, they will be able to access the challenge documents, so they can interact with the system. And we also keep track of your activity on the system, so that it's one way of tracking your engagement. Yeah.
Okay. That's it from our side. Patients, please do read them. If not, we can end the session. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining, and have a great day, everyone. Thank you. Have a great day.